Hey guys, Mark Holthe here, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher. I am so excited to have you join me on this little journey that I've got planned for us. Now, as you can see, I am, yes, a Canadian immigration lawyer, as I just indicated. What I am not is a videographer or professional video making person in any way. This is me. I've thrown up a backdrop behind me. You can see the shadow from the light. This is real. This is authentic. This is just me. And the sole purpose behind this is to teach you about express entry. So please forgive the coughing or the bad lighting or the audio that isn't perfect. And you guys have no idea how many times I tried to record this very first video. Hopefully they'll get a little bit better as we go on. But understand one thing I will promise to you, the production value may not be perfect, but the content is going to be freaking awesome. So I'm going to share my best tips, my best strategies, all of the ins and outs that I've learned being involved with express entry since it was very first started. In fact, even before it was launched. And so that's why I'm here. I'm pulling on my high school teacher experience to share insight and knowledge that I know is going to help you. One of the most important reasons why I'm doing this is to help you guys to not fall into the trap that I've seen so many people fall into. They make little mistakes that could easily have been avoided, but they make these mistakes and it costs them their ability to immigrate to Canada. And I don't want to sound too melodramatic or like I said in my email, a fearmonger. The reality is express entry is super volatile. And when you go online and you're searching for information, there are tons of people that say, oh, it's so easy. You just need to read the government website. All the information is there. You don't even need to worry about it. And then guess what? Only the people who have success are going to be posting their experiences. People who contact me all the time because they've made one little mistake, just like MD in the email that I sent to you guys. One little mistake with his police clearance ultimately cost him his ability to immigrate to Canada. The process is ruthless. And so my goal is to protect you guys, to teach you guys so that you do not lose out on your opportunity to immigrate to Canada, especially when you're right on that pass mark. And we'll get into what that pass mark's all about in a little bit later in this video. But the idea here is for me to help you guys so that you don't make those mistakes. And when I'm representing people one-on-one, I can only help one person at a time. But the reason I created this video series is because I can amplify my message to thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people so that they're all avoiding those common pitfalls that cause people to get their applications rejected. And most importantly, guys, that's you. So you've trusted me with your email address. You've trusted that I'm going to give you content that's actually worth watching. So I'm not going to spend hours and hours on this video giving you the whole background of why I really decided to create the Canadian Immigration Institute. You'll learn about it over time. But right now, I want to give you one quick win right off the bat, and that's an understanding of what express entry really is. So this video is dedicated to a 10,000 foot level understanding of this process that we call express entry. All right, I'm going to get rid of this, what is express entry, because I can't tell you how many other videos I tried to record, I forgot to remove it, and then I tried to show you, and it was blocking off the information I was sharing. So once again, guys, this is 100% authentic. I'm not even editing this anymore. I've stopped because there's no purpose. So bear with the technical glitches, and jump on in and let's go and check this out. Okay, I'm going to show you my screen here. All right, right off the bat, guys. Those of you who have skilled work experience abroad, or if you're working in Canada as a skilled worker, this program is for you. If you don't have skilled work experience, then express entry just won't work for you. But this is the main way that skilled workers can immigrate to Canada, through one of Canada's economic immigration programs. So these are the programs where Canada hopes that if you choose to come to Canada, you're going to bring your skill, your knowledge, your education, And it's all going to result in you being able to add to our economic development here in our country of Canada. And I'm going to go here. It's interesting, as I play around with this, guys, you can probably also see that, hey, Mark, I'm not seeing your screen. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to share with you once again my screen, and voila, we are here. All right. Hopefully you guys get a laugh with me as we go through this. Teaching the law, and I teach other lawyers. I run the Legal Education Society of Alberta seminars for lawyers here for the immigration seminars in Alberta. I am going in repeatedly over the last few years. I've gone to the Canadian Bar Association conferences and have taught other lawyers about immigration. But oh my goodness, this can be so dry. But my job is to make it fun. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Like I said, if you were a foreign worker, this is the way you can immigrate to Canada. The first image you'll see here is a bunch of people and one green guy. The reality is, in the past, the programs that Canada had to immigrate required someone to submit their application and then wait. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. So basically, they submit their application and then they wait and wait and wait till their application comes up and an officer processes it and they get permanent residence. That first in, first out process was the way it used to be. So you can see in bullet point 2, the express entry process manages Canada's economic immigration programs. Well, what are the actual programs? Well, there's the Canadian Experience Class, the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, and some provincial nominee programs. And I'll get into more detail about those programs in later videos. But suffice it to say, if you have Canadian work experience, then the Canadian Experience Class is for you. If you're overseas or outside of Canada and have federal skilled worker experience, or I should say if you have skilled work experience, then you can come through that program. If you're a skilled tradesperson, an electrician, a carpenter, a plumber, then maybe the Federal Skilled Trade Program is for you. And some of the provincial nominee programs also participate in express entry, and some don't, like the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program. So in the past, some people would have to wait years before their application was processed. There were as many as up to 600,000 people in our backlogs trying to immigrate through some of our economic programs. The government realized that no one was going to sit around for years. In fact, some 6 to 7 years. Can you believe that? Well, no one's going to sit around. No highly skilled foreign nationals are going to want to come to Canada if they have to wait 6 to 7 years to get their application approved. That's crazy. So the government decided they needed to make a change. And that change was express entry. Now, when you think about it, what does express mean? Express entry? Well, it's fast. So the whole process here, guys, is to get you permanent residence super fast. Well, if you only have so many officers to process so many applications, well, you can only intake so many at a time if you want to keep those processing times fast. So that's exactly what they did. Instead of you having an automatic right to have your application processed if you meet the eligibility requirements, now if you meet those minimum entry criteria for each of those programs or one of those programs, you're invited to submit a profile, your own personal profile, into the express entry pool. And then they rank you against everybody else in the pool at that time. And the people who rank the highest are given an invitation to apply for permanent residence. So no longer is there a guarantee that you can apply to Canada or apply to immigrate like you used to. Now you have to be eligible, but you also have to be the most eligible or rank the highest based on what we call your human capital factors. And I'll go through the whole comprehensive ranking system, eligibility, everything in future videos, but this is essentially it. So it's designed to let the government select the best candidates that will help our Canadian labor market. So here's another way of looking at it. So point 1, if you meet the minimum entry requirements, then you can submit your profile into the pool, and based on your language ability, your education, your skilled work experience, and your age, for instance, you're given a score. They rank you. Every 2 to 3 weeks, the government issues a new invitation to apply, And if your comprehensive ranking system score is above the pass mark, congratulations, you get an invitation to apply. And then you have 3 months to submit your actual application. And for me, as a Canadian immigration lawyer based in Canada, I love express entry. The reason is because it's entirely electronic. I work with people all over the world seamlessly because we don't need to deal with paper. We don't need to deal with couriering documents to my office. We don't have to deal with any of those things. It's all electronic, at least up to the stage in which your local visa office requests your passport. But that's pretty straightforward. So for me, as a Canadian immigration lawyer, I love it. I don't have to rely on any overseas agents or any overseas offices. I can do everything right here from home. And so it's super awesome for me. Well, for you, the benefit is because it's electronic, because you've received an invitation to apply, your application can be approved in 6 months. And I'll be honest, folks, I have seen some people's applications get processed in less than 2. And the record I heard one time, at least for people who were qualifying or applying through the Canadian Experience class, was under 1 month. Can you believe that? It's absolutely insane. So when you're looking at this whole process and you're thinking, wow, if I immigrate to Canada or apply to immigrate, I can get permanent residence in under 6 months. That just blows your mind, doesn't it? It's crazy to think about that. But guess what, guys? It is, because it's so fast, because Canada is awesome, and I can say it's awesome because I'm a Canadian. I love my country just like you love yours. But because so many people want to immigrate, it is super competitive. So just by submitting your application, or I should say by submitting your profile into the pool, does not guarantee that you are going to get an ITA. You have to do everything in your power to maximize your comprehensive ranking system score so that you can get that magical ITA. And guys, if you follow me along on this journey, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you tips, strategies. I'm going to help you avoid those pitfalls. Now, they're going to come in a series of emails. And if you're like any of the clients or the hundreds of thousands of people who are in my private Express Entry Law Facebook groups, who listen to my Canadian immigration podcasts, who read my blogs, who interact with me through all forms of social media, excuse me, you'll realize, well, at least if you're like them, you probably want everything right now. Well, this series of emails is not quite designed to be like that. It's designed to give you what you need in a series of emails that will come day after day. Well, if you click on the link here on the page, you'll see there's one. If you want to hire me directly right now, you can totally do that if you want to. And I am fully representing, because some people say, Mark, do you represent people or do you just teach? Of course I do. I love representing people. So you can retain my law firm and we can totally help you do your own application if you want that. You can book a consult, or I created a complete step-by-step guide to doing it yourself. And you can click on this page. It's either down here or up here or over there, or I don't know where it is. Anyways, you can click on the link and it'll take you to where you can get information about that. But guys, I'm pushing all of that aside because this is all about you. This is all about teaching. This is all about educating and helping you navigate this crazy process that we call Express Entry. So until I see you next video, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, guys.